everyone, it's Inbi. In this video, I want to talk to you about my current audio interface. It's called Zoom AMS-44. I want to take you on a little tour of this beautiful, beautiful little thing. And then I want to show you how to work with Loopy Pro and an audio interface, little tips and tricks. So, just as background, I've been using the Zoom U44 for around 2 years, maybe even more. I'm absolutely in love with it. It's super small, super lightweight, and it has 2 built-in inputs and an option for an extension for 2 more inputs, and it has 4 outputs. Now, for me, when I loop, I need a metronome in my ears that I don't want the audience to hear. So I do need a minimum of 4 outputs, so this is perfect. But I also have a lot of instruments, so I do need more than 2 inputs, and the extension that comes with this is very heavy. I don't like heavy things. Another problem with this is that it's been discontinued. So, as a big fan, I reached out to Zoom to ask why. And in response, they sent me the reason why, which is this beautiful little piece of gear. It's called the Zoom AMS-44, and it's even smaller and more lightweight than the U44, which I just can't believe. And it has 4 outputs, which is very important for me. It also has 4 built-in inputs, so already comes with 4 very high quality inputs, which is perfect for me. Like, this fits in my purse, basically. Not that I carry a purse, but it could. It almost fits in my pocket, and it has everything I need. 4 inputs, 4 outputs. It has phantom power, so if I'm at home and I want to use a condenser, I can plug it in. It actually has 2 inputs that you can link together to make a stereo, like 1 stereo input. It has 2 headphone slots. It has a bunch of different options for connecting, which for me is super important. So first of all, you can connect this to its own power source and then connect it with a USB to your iPad. You can also use batteries, just 2 AA batteries, and then connect it to your iPad. Or just have none of that. Just plug it in to the iPad and the iPad will power this. So this is super important for me. I like to be able to play on the street if I want, and I love these options. And the battery option makes it so that it doesn't drain all the battery from the iPad, and it gives it its own power source. I've been playing live shows with it. It's super, super comfortable because these knobs are on the top, so very accessible. I can really easily change my output gain, my headphone gain, my input gains. And yeah, so I love this. I want to highly recommend it. Let me just say this is sponsored by Zoom because I reached out to them because I'm such a big fan. So I wanted to make this video. I want to recommend this to everyone. So this is being sponsored. They sent me this after I discovered that this has been discontinued. I honestly just recommend both of these so much. If you're a live looper, I cannot recommend it enough. Seriously. Now, I do want to get into 2 things I would change about this, just to be very honest. I think because I've been so used to this is a little sturdier and more physically stable, meaning it's just very stable when it sits. And this I find a little problematic because the inputs are on one side, the outputs are on the other. So when I'm playing a live show and I've got cables coming out of here and cables coming out of here, everything is fine. It's very stable. But at home, I don't need the outputs. I just have inputs, and it kind of makes it lean a little bit. Now, it's not that big of a deal. It doesn't feel like it's going to fall, but it's just less stable than the U44. And the other thing is something I'll show you once I open up Loopy Pro. With the U44, when I plugged in my headphones, I was able to automatically get all 4 outputs in my headphones. This is super important for me because I want the metronome coming out of outputs 3 and 4 and the music coming out of outputs 1 and 2. And I want all of those in my headphones. And here it works a little differently, where I have 1 headphone jack for outputs 1 and 2, 1 headphone jack for outputs 3 and 4. And this makes it so I do have to do a technical workaround in order to get both the metronome and the music in my ears while the audience only hears the music. So let me plug this in and show you what I'm talking about, and I'll show you how I work with the Zoom AMS-44. Alright, so now I have the AMS-44 plugged in, and I have a brand new project in Loopy Pro. This is what it looks like, And what I did is I connect it to a USB hub, and then I connect the USB hub to my iPad. I can also connect this directly. I do want a mouse to show you where I'm clicking, so that's why I have a USB hub. In live shows, I always have it because I have a MIDI keyboard and a MIDI foot controller, so I need to connect several things to my iPad. If you're only working with an audio interface, you can just connect it directly. It's not connected to power because there's just no need right now. And I have one microphone plugged in. So first thing we do is on the bottom left, the mixer. What I've done is on this plus sign on the bottom right, I added a hardware input. Hardware input is going to be this. And because, as I said, the Zoom AMS-44 has 4 built-in inputs, once I click here, it will show me 4 inputs. All right, and I can choose any one of them, but I'll choose the one corresponding to my interface, which right now is input 3. So I just click on 3. Ta-da! Now I have 2 instances of the same mic. I wanted to show you that option because you can have 20 instances of the same mic. Let's say you want to use it for singing, and then in the next loop you want to use it for percussion. You might want different effects on each one of those instances. That's okay, you can use the same mic with 2 different instances. I can once again click on the plus, add hardware input, and then choose 3 again and again and again. The other thing I want to show you about working with the Zoom AMS-44, if you're like me and you want the metronome in your ears, but not in the audience's ears, you need to work around it. So because the 2 outputs that go to the house speakers are outputs 1 and 2, what I use is the bottom headphone jack on the AMS-44, which is outputs 3 and 4. And for every channel, I click on see destinations. It says 1 and 2. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to add 3 and 4. So now it's going to all 4 outputs, and I just do this for every channel. There we go. And if I end up adding a new color or a new input or a bus, I just have to make sure I don't forget to route it that way. Let me just show you what I mean. If I add a new color, it will show up on my mixer, but it's only going to 1 and 2, so I just have to make sure to send it to 3 and 4 as well. If you don't need a metronome in your ear, forget all this. And if you do need a metronome, let me take you there. So top right corner, clock settings, metronome on the bottom here. And right now my metronome is routed to 1 and 2, but I want it to be in 3 and 4 only. All right, and I can enable it. And so now I'll be hearing the metronome in my headphones, but the audience will not. So I got headphones, and I'm just going to connect them to this bottom headphone jack because that's outputs 3 and 4. And I just want to say again how much I love these knobs on the top and how much better it is than having them in the front or on the sides. It's just so easy to access during a live show. And so let me just set the metronome to 120. And as you can see here, it's on. So now I'm going to be hearing it and you're not. Let's just try recording something. I hope this has been helpful. I want to give a big thank you and shout out to Zoom. Thank you for making such affordable, portable pieces of gear. It's perfect. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions about working with an audio interface with Loopy Pro. Let me know in the comments, and have a beautiful day.